The anime opens with a girl being escorted by two guards. She knows there's no escaping her fate, but she hopes they'll at least look her in the eye. Standing before her is an authority figure, who sternly states that she must understand the severity of her crime. Deceiving them is no small offense. We are then transported to the fortified city of Daya, in the kingdom of Fortuna. A girl named Nina is seen fleeing desperately from a group of soldiers, clutching a small bag. Thanks to the help of a boy named Saji, she narrowly escapes. The two arrive at a hidden hideout where they are greeted by another boy, Colin. It seems the trio has a habit of stealing from the rich from time to time. Here, we are given some backstory. 5 years ago, a plague swept through the land, killing many adults and leaving countless children orphaned. Returning to the present, it's revealed that Saji and Colin are brothers, while Nina is just a close friend. As Colin rummages through the bag, he pulls out a lapis-colored gem. Overjoyed, he compares the gem's color to Nina's striking eyes, remarking that it's a shame she has to hide them. Saji quickly jumps in, warning that if she didn't hide her eyes, trouble would soon find her, as such rare eyes are highly sought after by the rich. Despite their tough circumstances, the three of them seemed happy, sharing good times together. This happiness made Nina believe that their little world would last forever. However, one day, Colin fell gravely ill. Saji, clearly distressed, remarks that Colin's time has come and blames their misfortune on the star under which they were born, a fate that, in his eyes, condemned them to a life of poverty. But Nina refuses to accept this, passionately declaring that one day, they too will be rich. Saji, upset, retorts that she can say that so easily because she isn't truly one of them. This infuriates Nina, who, determined to do something to change their situation, leaves in a hurry. Staring at her reflection in the water, Nina wonders why she was born with such different eyes. It leads her to the painful realization that she has always been alone. Still, deep down, she wishes there was someone who saw her as special, someone to whom she truly mattered. The scene shifts to a cliff, where a carriage has fallen. One of the hooded men wonders if the princess could have survived the fall. His companion dismisses the idea, declaring it impossible. They decide to cover up the incident and quickly search for a replacement. We return to Saji and Nina. He apologizes for his earlier outburst, and Nina does the same. Saji then asks her to accompany him somewhere. Upon arriving at a small house, Saji quickly says goodbye, and Nina suddenly realizes what's happening. Moments later, a group of hooded men enters. Nina has been betrayed. Confused and heartbroken, Nina wonders if Saji's actions were driven by anger, or if he simply couldn't handle Colin's condition. All she knows is that her heart aches, and she feels like giving up. One of the hooded men inspects Nina's eyes, ensuring that what he's been told is true. Nina, in turn, looks into his eyes, which glow a wild golden color. Noticing her disheveled state and ragged clothes, the golden-eyed man orders his companions to change her. When they attempt to do so, they tear her clothes, revealing that Nina is, in fact, a girl. Rather than being troubled by this revelation, the men are relieved. It simplifies things, as they no longer need to disguise a boy as a girl or search for another replacement. The man with the golden eyes approaches Nina and tells her that today marks the end of her old life. From this moment forward, she will be reborn as a princess. Time passes, and the scene shifts to a grand house. A pair of women are chasing a girl through the halls, who is frantically trying to escape. She stumbles over her dress, causing a commotion that draws the attention of the man with the golden eyes, whom they call Azure. He watches with a faint sense of recognition, realizing that the noisy girl, now transformed, is none other than the orphan from before. Without hesitation, Azure orders Nina to kneel. From this point on, he declares, she must obey him without question. Her new role is to impersonate Princess Alicia, the revered priestess with lapis lazuli eyes, a blue as deep as the god of the stars. For the next 3 months, she will be trained in the ways of royalty, learning etiquette and elegance, preparing to marry the crown prince of Galgada, heir to the throne. But there's one condition: she must not let anyone discover her true identity. However, Nina is far from compliant. In a flash, she disarms Azure, snatching his sword and pointing it at him. Demanding answers, she insists he tell her who he really is, warning that unless he does, she will refuse to follow his orders and return to her previous life. Unfazed by her defiance, Azure coldly asks if she even has a home to return to, calling her a poor thing. Despite his harsh words, he understands her frustration and offers a soft apology for treating her so harshly. He then introduces himself as Azure Seth Fortuna, second prince of the kingdom of Fortuna and her master. He will be responsible for her instruction over the next 3 months. As the lessons begin, they focus on basic phrases she'll need to address the king and the nobles. However, Nina quickly becomes overwhelmed. She confesses that she doubts her ability to learn so quickly, admitting she can neither read nor write. Azure responds firmly, stressing that time is of the essence. They have an audience with the king in just 3 days. Nina begins to doubt whether she can truly deceive the king and wonders if she truly resembles the princess. The maids and even Azure reassure her that the only feature she shares with Princess Alicia is her striking, lapis-colored eyes. The story delves into Princess Alicia's background, revealing that she was the daughter of the late third queen and was named a star priestess at birth. She was raised in the Imperial Star Village, where every priestess debuts during the first Star Festival after turning 16. Nina recalls attending this festival as a child with her parents, and also remembers going with Saji and Colin the previous year. Azure interrupts her thoughts, asking if she understands the gravity of the situation, but Nina seems distant. Sensing her hesitation, Azure promises to give her anything she desires if she succeeds in the upcoming audience with the king. Encouraged by the maid's pleas, Nina reluctantly agrees, though her struggles and self-doubt make her consider giving up. A maid suggests to Azure that Nina might benefit from a change of scenery, so he takes her to the top of a castle tower. There, Nina realizes she is indeed in the royal castle. As they stand together, she notices how nice Azure smells and wonders if all nobles smell that way, making her reflect on the stark differences between their lives. When the day of the audience arrives, Nina looks composed. The maids anxiously remind her that if she makes a mistake and is discovered, it will be disastrous for all of them. As Nina enters the king's grand hall, surrounded by nobles, she bows deeply. The king, seeing her nervousness, gently tells her to relax and raise her head. Here, it's revealed that the king is Alicia's father, or at least, he believes Nina to be his daughter. Shocked by her striking eyes, the king apologizes for summoning her back to the palace for political matters. Nina, trembling with nerves, simply thanks him for his kindness. The king then turns to Azure, expressing gratitude for his help, to which Azure assures that he will handle everything until the wedding day. The queen steps in, suggesting that as part of their country's coming-of-age ceremony, the star priestess traditionally performs a dance. She asks if Princess Alicia might offer such a dance to Prince Muhulum, despite his young age. Though the prince is still far from his own coming-of-age ceremony, the queen persists in her request. Nina feels trapped, panicking as she realizes she knows nothing about the dance. The king agrees with the queen's request, but Azure quickly intervenes, explaining that it wouldn't be appropriate since the princess has not yet inherited the star rituals, nor is she of age. Moreover, Prince Muhulum is bedridden, and forcing the ritual would dishonor him. Relieved yet feeling she has failed, Nina contemplates leaving. However, she remembers what happened with Saji and wonders if she has anywhere to return to. Suddenly, a small commotion breaks out outside the hall. The queen, frustrated, demands to take Alicia, but Azure firmly refuses. Infuriated, the queen accuses Azure of trying to position himself as the rightful heir since he is the son of the king's primary wife. In a fit of spite, she throws her fan into a nearby pond and orders Azure to retrieve it. Azure calmly replies that he will get her a new fan, but the queen insists. Unable to hold back, Nina impulsively jumps into the pond to fetch the fan, splashing the queen in the process. Soaked and enraged, the queen tries to strike Nina, but Azure steps between them, smiling as he quips that it is, after all, a perfect day for a swim. The queen curses Azure's name, but he takes the chance to swiftly escape with Nina. Once they are inside, Nina apologizes, admitting she only wanted to get the queen wet. This amuses Azure, though he manages to stifle his laughter. Nina also apologizes for what she perceives as her failure during the audience, but Azure reassures her that everything went as expected and is glad it was so simple. Remembering his promise, Azure asks Nina what she wishes as a reward. After thinking for a moment, Nina asks for something simple, to be congratulated in a genuine way. A maid advises Azure to be kind to her, noting that Nina must feel very lonely. Azure tosses a towel at Nina before gently placing his hand on her head and offering her a heartfelt congratulations. Elsewhere, a shadowy figure speaks cryptically about Princess Alicia, muttering that more investigation is needed soon. If you've reached this point in the video, don't forget to leave the word exquisito in the comments. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.